their Director of National Intelligence announced the Obama administration's plan to permanently fund a now pilot project, the Pat Roberts Intelligence Scholars Program, PRISP. It may not sound so bad until you understand the objectives, which is to covertly recruit U.S. college students into the CIA. These reserve and other reserve officers training corps that will eventually funnel these young people into the CIA and other intelligence agencies. But that's not all. The covert recruitment of students will be conducted in secrecy. The identities of the students unknown to the university, and certainly not fellow students, and you can bet not their parents as well. The basic requirement for participants is that they later seek employment in governmental intelligence agencies. Of course, this is a return to the good old days of CIA recruitment on college campuses. By the way, the program is named after Kansas conservative Republican Pat Roberts, who supported the Patriot Act and loosening restrictions on NSA wiretapping. And speaking of NSA wiretapping, which is the National Security Agency, in April of 2009, the Obama Justice Department, headed by Eric Holder, refused to comply with a federal judge order for the Obama administration to release information obtained by the government from secret eavesdropping on American citizens without a warrant. Although the initial lawsuit was filed against the Bush administration by 2 U.S. lawyers whom the government had illegally wiretapped their telephones, the Obama's Justice Department argued for a dismissal of the lawsuit, claiming it was, quote, refusing to cooperate with the court's order because they assert plaintiff's attorney do not need to know the information that the court has determined they do need to know, end of quote. In a motion to dismiss Jewell versus National Security Agency, the Obama administration argued exactly as the Bush administration that the state secret privilege requires the court to dismiss the lawsuit altogether because it would cause exceptional grave harm to national security. In other words, dismiss the case on our word because you can't see the evidence. Attorney General Holder's second argument goes beyond the Bush administration. The Obama's Justice Department asserts the U.S. government is completely immune from litigation for illegal spying, that the government can never be sued for surveillances that violates federal privacy statutes, a far departure from presidential candidate Obama, who accused the Bush administration of, quote, invoking a legal tool known as the state secrecy privilege more than any other previous administration to get cases thrown out of civil court, end of quote. The Obama administration goes 2 steps further than Bush by claiming the U.S. Patriot Act also renders the U.S. immune from lawsuits under the 2 remaining key federal surveillance laws, the Wiretap Act and the Stored Communication Act. In other words, Obama is saying the government cannot be held accountable for illegal surveillances under any federal statute. Illegal wiretapping doesn't sit well with us, does it? Because we remember the FBI illegal wiretapping of Dr. Martin Luther King's telephone conversations that began in October of 1963 and continued until May of 1968. And that was from orders from the then U.S. Attorney General Robert F. Kennedy, and that was under the administration of one of Obama's idols, John F. Kennedy. Let's talk about secret detention centers under Obama. The ACLU, the American Civil Liberties Union, has filed a lawsuit against Attorney General Eric Holder and the Federal Bureau of Prisons, challenging the legality of 2 secret detention centers known as communication management units set up in special isolated wings of supermax federal prisons, 2 in Terre, Indiana, and Marion, Illinois. These detention centers severely restricts prisons' communication with family members. And you know what's coming for us. And lastly, just very quickly, I want to talk about, shortly after taking office, the Obama administration, through the State Department, I got 1 minute, through the State.
No, finish it later in the 2-minute rebuttal.
Oh, okay. I want to talk about the $202 million that the Obama administration signed in contracts to private security firms in Iraq, and also private security firms that will protect military personnel of all places in Israel. Thank you.
Is Charles needed? Is Charles needed? No. Okay, brothers and sisters, we hate to stop anybody who's in mid-stride, but everybody, by doing this, everybody's going to get their 2-minute rebuttal. And in a 2-minute rebuttal or the 2-minute summation, they'll be able to make their points. Our next speaker is literally the councilman at large for New York City. He is from Brownsville, but if people have problems in the Bronx or Queens or anywhere, he's always there on behalf of our people. Please welcome to the microphone the Honorable Charles Barron.
Thank you very much. You know, in the first debate, I told Dr. McIntosh I could take either side and make a good argument. But, you know, by definition, the President of the United States of America is going to have an imperialistic foreign policy and an exploitative capitalistic domestic policy. By definition, I don't care who it is. So there's nothing real deep about somebody coming up here. Any one of us could have made the analysis. Viola could have made it. Ron could have made it. I could have made it, how Barack Obama ain't this, that, and the other. There's nothing deep about, especially to y'all, because y'all ain't going to take no mess from nobody. We better bring it right and better bring it straight. This is a conscious audience. This is a revolutionary audience. It is easy to come to you and lay out all of this stuff about Barack Obama, because all of us could do it. We're revolutionaries. We want radical change. The question is, who's better, Sarah Palin, John McCain, or Barack Obama? Because that was the only choice. So you can get deep, and when you finish the analysis, I got to go back to East New York. I have to go back to Brownsville. Some of you have to go back to Harlem. Some of our intellectuals don't step foot in Brownsville. They don't step foot in Harlem. They're not running around with people who don't have jobs. They don't have to supply anybody with anything but some deep intellectual analysis. It has its value. It has its value. But when you finish with Barack Obama, what then? Bottom line for me, when I first started, I will support Barack Obama over Sarah Palin and John McCain and Hillary Clinton any day. Any day. Some of the analysis are correct. Foreign policy-wise, here's the pluses and the minuses. Don't want them to transfer the war from Iraq to Afghanistan and bomb Pakistan. No. But he is opening up to Cuba, Venezuela, and he's still talking to Iran. Don't want him to bail out the banks. I don't even want him to fix capitalism. I hope it crashes and we have something new. But the bottom line, some of the stimulus